Hello, hello, hello. It's Jeremy Gryder, the e-commerce redneck. And today I've got an incredible guest. I've got Christian from Optimonk, and it's an exciting new product that gives you AI personalization for better conversions. Without further ado, Christian, tell us a little bit more about it. Tell us about you.
Thank you very much for the invitation. First of all, Jeremy, I'm happy to be here with you today. So actually, just to give you a little background about myself, I'm more than a decade now in digital marketing, working as a digital marketing expert. Actually, I had my own digital marketing agency before here in Hungary. I led it for more than 5 years. It was a full-stack digital marketing agency because I definitely believe in holistic approach regarding digital marketing, but with focus on conversion rate optimization and e-commerce. They were always definitely one of my favorite departments regarding digital marketing. And at Optimonk, I'm at the moment the International Partnership Manager. And Optimonk was established about 11 years ago, as you have also mentioned, in Hungary. And we have started out as just, I would say, a normal general pop-up tool. But with the time, we have discovered that it's definitely not enough to stay in this overcrowded space of e-commerce. So therefore, we have always added and developed new features, like, for example, built-in A/B testing in order to make data-driven decisions, very important, generally in digital marketing and for e-commerce stores, of course, or hyper-personalized on-site messages. And one of our newest feature is even the embedded content. We can talk about it a little bit later. So nowadays, I would say that we are a very comprehensive AI-powered CRO tool for conversion rate optimization in all aspects of this area.
Well, so basically, y'all were a tool before AI became the big thing, and now you've taken AI and made it just smarter and kind of niched yourself a little place with the AI side of things, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, definitely. So what we believe in is a kind of hybrid work progress, which means that AI does the heavy lifting, but you are in control. So you still have to know a lot about your own e-commerce store, about digital marketing, but a lot of work progress, like, for example, data analysis or even optimizing your product pages, now with the help of AI, you can do it, of course, much more quickly, much more efficient.
Well, yeah, and you know, it's funny. I see so many AI tools, and it's funny. One time I walked up to an agency guy and said something about AI, and he goes, "AI, AI, 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 AI." You know, and it kind of is everything you hear about all the time from everybody. But what I always tell people is there, I believe, is something to the tune of 1,900, at least a couple of months ago, there's over 1,900 AI apps, specifically AI apps on Shopify, you know, and what I would say is there is a large portion of those that are not going to be the best apps, you know, but there's also tools. The tools I've seen that have done really well are companies that had something already and then used AI to make it smarter, you know. And so I think it comes down to reliability. You know, you have a history already, you have customers already, you've been doing it, you know. But how do you differentiate yourself in that space, you know, using this new technology and taking that concept of the hybrid of, you know, using AI for what it's good at, and then programmatic, you know, discipline for everything else?
Yeah, thank you. It's a very good question, actually. And I strongly believe in it, what you have also mentioned, that alone with AI, you cannot achieve everything. It's just not possible. So what we have, as you have also mentioned, 11 years of experience. We have also a huge knowledge base, which means that, for example, we have our in-house service team from CRO experts. So we are also just doing it, not just talking about.
Right.
At the moment, we have about 30,000 users worldwide,
Wow.
websites and e-commerce
That's
stores
pretty
who are
good,
already
man.
using Optimonk, which means we have a tons of data. So based on that, a lot of experience, use cases, and actually case studies about it. Which one is the most efficient way? Which one is working well? Which one is working maybe not so well in the e-commerce space? This is exactly, I would say, the baseline And AI is just actually an additional module, I would say, which we have added maybe 2 years ago. And of course, we are still experimenting with it. But the baseline of CRO, I think, didn't change in the last 10 years. So that is definitely a big advantage for us in comparison to other maybe brand new companies, which they have established their whole company, their whole concept only on AI.
Right. Right. It feels a little bit like it was built on Lovable sometimes when you see some of these apps, and that's a little scary when it comes to the idea of e-commerce has got to be secure. You can't have major mistakes on the front end. They can cost you a lot of money. So yeah, man, being disciplined in that's huge. And having the experience, it's funny that, you have experience in the agency world, because one of the best guys that I have known that was a founder of an AI company that focused on AI readiness and personalization in a different way. He had 10 years of being the top agency in Romania in SEO and ads, and I'm saying that because I'm validating what you're saying. Absolutely, that experience plays into an app because you know what you want and need and don't need and want. It's not guesswork. It's experience going into the building of this. So, well, I'd love to see what you have and understand a little bit more about the product itself. Would you like to share some more about it?
Yeah, definitely. Happy to do that. So I think we could just start with the basic lines, as we have mentioned already, just the different on-site messages. And I don't say pop-ups with a reason, because I know exactly that a lot of people, even sometimes I hear it from agencies. Of course, I have a lot of meetings with agencies worldwide, that they hate pop-ups. And I can completely understand it, but let's be very honest and transparent regarding this topic. Pop-up is just a tool. It's not good and not bad. And I always say it's like any other tool, like a knife. Is the knife bad or good? Well, it depends on. You can kill somebody with it, or you can even rescue the life of somebody. So it is depending on who is using it and how is it used. And definitely pop-up is one of my favorite topics, because I see it so often that it's actually no any targeting, no any adjustments set up for the pop-up. It just pops up every 5 seconds for everybody.
Yeah.
With the same general message. And of
Right.
course, it's annoying. Of course, it hurts conversion rates. Of course, it kills the customer experience. Of course,
Right.
nobody likes it. But sorry, it's not the fault of the pop-up. Because especially by Optimonk, by us, you have, I can't even tell all of them, but tons of possibilities how you can optimize and target it, because Optimonk is working with first-party data, which means that at the moment when it's connected with your website or with your e-commerce store, it starts gathering data from your visitors. And based on that data, you are able to target your on-site campaigns. Like, for example, based on traffic source, based on visitors' behavior, on browser language. Is it a new visitor or a returning visitor? Have they already subscribed to your newsletter or not yet? Have they ever purchased by you
So
or
it's
not yet?
just really intelligent about who it's servicing what to.
Yes.
I think that's the problem that a lot of people don't understand with personalization. It's not that it's personalized and it pops up, or it's somewhere on the page, or it's surfacing something. It's that if it's surfacing the wrong stuff, it's annoying. If it's not, it makes sense. And people that surface stuff that makes sense to them are going to act on those things, even if they don't like pop-ups, so.
Yeah, and actually, let's take also another point of view as an e-commerce store owner. In some cases, you can even kill your own profit margin because you show, for example, a general discount pop-up from someone who have bought anyway, actually, from you. So
Yeah.
it was completely unnecessary to show them the discount code.
Yeah,
But you
here's
have
some
done
money
it.
back for no
You kill your
reason.
own profit margin. Sorry. So there's a lot of possibilities to make these failures. And actually, of course, Optimonk has also a deep integration with other tools, with email marketing tools, like, for example, Klaviyo, which means that, for example, based on the segment in which a returning visitor is already in your email marketing tool, we are able to show the visitors different messages. So once again, I truly believe it in that personalization, or even hyper-personalization and segmentation, these are the future of e-commerce. Nobody wants to see general messages anymore, and we know exactly that higher relevance equals always higher conversion rates.
Stupid stores get stupid results,
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, if you really wanna keep up with things, and the great thing about it is the entry point is so low for most of this stuff to be able to really personalize and get more out of your store. People don't leave money on the table. This is a way to not leave money on the table. This is something you can do early on and grow and watch your profit margins grow.
Yes, definitely, because I think it's so important, just back again to this topic, to show the right message to the right people at the right time.
That's right.
You have to consider these three factors. And if you allow me just to show you a slide
Yeah, absolutely. Please do.
to make something even more, let's say, visual. I hope you can see now my screen.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so this is actually the problem, what we were talking about, that static pop-ups are usually irrelevant because you show the same message to everyone like this. Hey, do you want to get 20% discount? Wow, very exciting. You know exactly the biggest mistake what you can do in marketing, that you are boring. But, but imagine what kind of difference could it make if you would be able to show every visitor a different message, a different headline, and even a different creative, for example, based on the product picture, for example, based on the search intent. If you know already for which product is your visitor looking for, why not show them exactly the same product with a relevant message and a relevant headline? And it can dramatically increase, for example, the lead capture, the sign-up rate for your newsletter. So we are also, of course, running a tons of A/B testing. So we are not just talking about, we are doing it as well by a lot of clients by us. And we sometimes also run A/B testing where 50% of the visitors see the classic pop-up, 50% this hyper-personalized pop-ups. And I think it's not a huge surprise, but anyway, we have also data about it to prove that it's not just an assumption, that usually it can cause 300% uplift in sign-up rate. Only this difference that you make this personalized. I mean, list building, it's a quite important topic. So it definitely makes a huge difference for you how many visitors gonna sign up for your newsletter. And I mean, 300% difference, it could be a big number after a couple of weeks.
This is a good case of hey, build that list, and then when you're hitting them with Klaviyo or other apps that take advantage of that list, like you're going to be so much more effective. Your segmentation is going to be so much better. So
yeah, the money is in the list. We know it. Because I have a phrase for that. I don't know it makes any sense in English language. We say it in Hungarian language. What I see, the biggest challenge, the biggest issue by a lot of e-commerce store owners are that they are counting with this one-phase purchasing, which means they are hoping that the visitors are coming and purchasing immediately. But we know exactly it's definitely not the case. The higher is the price of your product, and the more complex your product is, the longer is the customer journey. So they won't buy definitely at the first time. They're gonna need at least 4, 5, or even 6 or 7 touch points before they are ready to buy your product. So therefore, you have to start communicate them on different channels, omni-channel approach, and therefore it's absolutely important to build your list in order that you have the possibility to nurture them and to get them on the customer journey to move forward.
that's incredible. I love this. And how does it determine from what page it comes in on or what they're searching for, and how does it determine all of that? That's amazing.
Yeah, you can definitely, as I have mentioned at the beginning, you are in control. So you can make assumptions, and you can even run A/B tests regarding this based on traffic source as well. Another example, what I really love, as you know, as an agency, okay, let's get back to this topic. As an agency, if you would like to test different landing pages, what we have done before, we have set up different landing pages with different URLs, and then we have split the traffic coming from the ads.
Right.
Now it's actually not necessary anymore. I can show you later on a different slide and concrete example, because we have now this embedded content, which looks totally native. So you have one landing page. At the top of the landing page, you put this embedded content from Optimonk. The visitors actually don't even recognize that they are looking at an Optimonk campaign. They think it's just a part of the landing page. But this part can be dynamically changed from you, for example, if you would like to do manually, like the headline or the main message, based on the campaign. So it means that you can ensure actually a context on the customer journey. What you have showed them in the ad, the same message, the same benefit, it's exactly the same message what they can see when they arrive on the landing page.
Okay.
And of course, once again, it causes a higher relevance. And we have also case studies about it where we were able to double the ROAS. And you know exactly when you are running PPC campaigns, Meta ads, Google ads,
Yeah.
double the ROAS is not so easy. But in
No,
that
it's
case,
not. That's miraculous.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's also a very, very exciting, very new way to think a little bit
It really
more.
comes down to the customer experience, the customer path. What does that look like? What are they getting as they come through the site? Is that experience dialed in to what they are looking for, what their purpose in being there is? And I think this is great. If you can dial it in that way, it creates. I always tell people, we're humans are dumb. We really like the path of least resistance. And if we go into a site and get everything we need in the journey to the checkout, guess what? We're getting to that checkout. And we're probably going to purchase if it's been a good experience. So dialing it in like that, like you said, bad pop-ups are the ones that don't show what you need. Good ones are the ones that are like, hey man, that's a little creepy, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I always tell also to our clients, first of all, focus on your visitors. Because if you are able to increase the customer experience as a happy side effect, also your conversion rates will increase, your most important KPIs.
Right.
So simple
Right.
is it.
Right. That's great.
Or the other one, which I really love, just a moment, this one. Yeah, this is also, for example, what I have mentioned before, the A/B testing.
Right.
To compare the static pop-ups to the hyper-personalized pop-ups. Yeah, and this one, the proactive product recommendations.
Yeah.
It's also a lovely thing because most of the e-commerce stores are, of course, using these cross-sell upsell campaigns in order to increase the average order value.
So is this a pop-up on the product page?
You decide.
Oh,
It
okay.
can be on the product page, it can be on the category page, but the smart part on it is, and you can't see it actually on the slide, but you can imagine it, that this is not a mechanical built-in product recommendation. This is, based on the visitor's behavior. So it means depending on what has done so far your visitor on your page, you know the history, the browser history, you can show him or her definitely relevant products. And this makes a huge difference. Not just something, and you hope, cross the fingers, that they're gonna like it. No, you know exactly what are they interested in, and based on that, can you show them relevant products? And this makes a big difference, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
And it's
putting
especially
things in their
interesting if
face
you have,
they wanna see.
pardon
So,
me?
it's putting things in their face they wanna see.
Yeah, definitely. Because especially if you have 10,000 products, just as an example, how do you decide which one should you show them?
Right.
But if you know the visitor's behavior, It's much more easier. And the best part of it, of course, that it will be made automatically, especially, for example, if you are using, for example, Shopify. We have a deep integration with Shopify, which means that Optimonk is also connected with your product feed. All the data will be pulled out from the product feed, and Optimonk is able, for example, to regenerate your product pictures based
Excellent.
on that data.
What all platforms are you able to work with currently?
Actually, all of them. So we have a deep integration with Shopify, WooCommerce, and Magento. So we are in the App Store already. By WooCommerce, we have our own plugin. But by all the other platforms, even by custom-coded e-commerce stores, it's actually working via JavaScript code, and we need a product feed. But you usually use for your Meta ads or Google ads. So that's all.
Wow. Wow. That's great. Well, I think this is exciting. Is there anything else that you had that you wanted to show us in your deck here?
Yes, definitely the last one, which I really love. This is definitely one of my favorites because when I have seen it at the first time, I told it already to our dev team, okay, guys, this will be a game changer for most of the e-commerce stores. So let's start with the basics. Most of the e-commerce stores are running nowadays PMAX campaigns, which means that most of the visitors are landing directly on the product page. Okay, so they don't even see the category page or the main page. So therefore, I think it's very important to optimize our product pages as deeply as possible. But once again, my question: how do you do it if you have 10,000 products? Who will optimize your 10,000 product pages?
Yeah, right.
And here comes in play our newest AI module, which is actually an embedded content. As you can see, it looks totally native. It's just a part of the product page. So once again, the visitors don't even recognize that they are looking at an Optimonk campaign. They think it's just a part of the product page. But if we take a closer look on it, this part is completely generated from our built-in AI. And
So it's paying attention to what they're looking at and how they're walking through, and then it's presenting points that it thinks will be important to them.
Yes, definitely. So first of all, we can make much more compelling and attractive product pictures because most of the e-commerce stores have product pictures with white background or transparent PNG, which is maybe good for Google, but definitely not for the human visitors. Let's be honest, they are boring.
Yeah, it's
Again,
boring.
and especially by products like jewelry or clothes. Uh, the people can't even imagine how to use it when you wear it. We
Yeah.
can change on it because with the help of AI, we can show it with real people. So it looks much better for the visitors. And then the AI headlines and the benefit lists, it's just a kind of a short summary of your product description because to be honest, I think that nobody will read your long product description nowadays.
Yeah.
Or just a few of your visitors, because we know exactly most of the visitors are nowadays scanning your website.
Right.
So if you are able to summarize them in 3 points, the biggest benefits, what you can deliver with your product, what is the most important question, what you can answer, what is the most important problem where you can give a solution, that is a huge advantage. And it can dramatically increase the add to cart rate on the product page and, of course, also the e-commerce conversion rate.
Where does it draw the information from? What you have on the description and stuff already, or?
From the product feed.
Okay.
It will be definitely pulled out from the product feed. And once again, you are in control. AI does the heavy lifting, which means that, of course, it won't be launched live immediately on your whole website. First of all, in your Optimonk account, you have the possibility to check it out.
Okay.
And only if you say, okay, you like it, or you can even iterate it. So if you don't like the output, you can change on it, like you do it every day by ChatGPT or Manus or whatever tool you use it. So for example, you can prompt it like, okay, I don't like it like this style. I would like to have only 3 points and much more funny style. Vroom, will be regenerated. And here we go. And when you like it, what you see, you can switch it on and then it will be live on your page. And the best part again, you don't have to make assumptions. Okay, I hope this will work better because still you can use the A/B testing feature by Optimonk, which means that 50% of your visitors will see the original version of your product page, 50% the new AI generated version. So you have data. Which one performed better? But I think it's once again not a big surprise. We have already run thousands of such A/B tests. And especially not last week, 2 weeks ago, I was on the Balkan e-commerce summit. It's the biggest e-commerce conference by us in East Europe. I was one of the invited speakers. And there I brought a case study about one of Hungarian's biggest e-commerce store, where we have achieved 41% uplift in revenue thanks to this AI generated optimizations. So we have also data about it that it really works. It really has positive impact on your most important KPIs. It's not just looks nice.
Right, right. Excellent. Well, man, I really appreciate you coming on. I think this is an exciting product. It's cool to see what people are doing with AI and how they're using it and figuring out how to make realistic, usable products, that actually change conversions. And the coolest thing about it to me is kind of like I said before, it's so easy to get in early on using these tools. Get your tool set in your store smarter and you'll make more money. It's that simple,
So simple is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, excellent, Christian. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to leave the crowd with?
Actually, I would say that maybe just one last piece of advice that a lot of times we get asked about how should I start with CRO? You and we know it, but I think it's also very important to note in not every case you have to start with CRO, because if you don't have enough data, let's say you don't have enough traffic, I think the most important next step should be, first of all, to increase your traffic. Because in that case, you don't have a traffic problem. You have a CRO problem. You don't need to run A/B tests when you have 2,000 unique visitors per month. It doesn't make any sense for you. So start with the basics, because it didn't change even in the AI era. And when you have already an established business model, an established e-commerce stores, which already showing some revenue, generating some revenue, have at least, 15,000 unique visitors per month, so something is working already. There are some data assets which you can use, then you should start definitely with conversion rate optimization. Otherwise, it's just actually wasting your time and energy on it.
Right, right, right. Well, thank you so much, Christian. It's been great
Thank you very
having
much.
you on here. Look forward to hearing from the audience on what they think of your product. And guys, get out there and check out Optimonk. It's awesome. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeremy, for the invitation.